clarity in different parts of your world. You know that you want clarity because everything that you've read or heard tells you that you will accomplish more with greater clarity. So here is the million-dollar question. How do we gain clarity? Is it something that the lucky ones are born with? Or are some people just able to naturally define their clarity? The answer to both of those is no. Clarity does not come from some source outside of yourself. It is not something that one day you wake up with the answers to all that has been unclear. It would be so easy if it was. Like many things, it's something that has to be worked for and tools put in place to help us go from the unclear to a path that seems to have a purpose to an end that we desire. I had to really learn and accept this because, as many of you know and have heard my story, that finding clarity was a huge obstacle for me, and I really just thought I didn't get it on so many different levels. So hang with me here, my friends. I am going to share some things that I had to learn in a very painful way. So since clarity is not bestowed upon us by the universe or some other being greater than ourselves, then at a deeper level, we decide what our clarity is going to be. This may not be a conscious decision, but at the end of the day, we are the only ones that can change what our own level of clarity is. Whether you have clarity or you don't, you did it. Were there exterior forces that helped you either positively or negatively arrive at your current level? Undoubtedly, but remember, it's always our choice to decide what makes it into our personal bubble and what does not. So I'm going to give you 5 strategies today to help you make your way towards the clarity that you're wanting. Just remember, though, that you're in charge here. That is so cool because that means that you have the power to change everything. Okay, so number 1, stop messing with the good stuff. There are proven habits that will help lead us down the good path to clarity. But at the same time, there are very bad things that take us down the naughty trail to confusion and overwhelm. I've been there. I know that trail. So here are a few items to catch yourself if you're doing them and stop it. Seriously, just stop it. All right, number 1, hanging out with the drifters. Now, I don't mean the true definition of a drifter, although I wouldn't recommend that either. You know, the people in your world that don't really have any direction at all? They just kind of go where the next situation takes them. You may have friends that you grew up with that are like this. Many of us went away to college or a career, maybe military, and when we came back home, many of the friends that we had back in the day, they're still wandering around trying to figure out the next move. Or worse yet, they've accepted that this is what life is. Typically they have that victim mentality that says, well, you know, I'm just not as lucky as you. Or things just never seem to work out as well for me. Horse cocky, that is total crap and you know it. Eliminate that negative energy from sucking you in. All right, next can be the people that you live with that have goals and beliefs that are drastically different than yours. Being around excited, goal-oriented thinkers is the objective. Be cognitive about the 5 people that you surround yourself most with. Are they forward-thinking and looking to learn and move towards their dreams and intentions? Or are they just super negative? All right, you've heard it before. We are what we eat. Give up the junk food, watch the caffeine and the alcohol. All of these things cause brain fog and make it increasingly hard to find clarity. There are more, but here's the last one that I'll harp on today. Screen time that is not productive or educational. TV, web surfing, social media, or other non-productive habits. Here's one for you. Did you know that the average American watches 4 hours of TV per day, which equates to an average of 13 years of watching TV if you live an average lifespan on the boob tube there? 13 years of lost time that you never get back, that you never get to use to make a difference. Now, as you look back at these items, just flip-flop them to the opposite. Hang out with people that are clear where they're going and how they're going to get there. They're excited about the opportunities before them. Continually improve your brain by adding books, ebooks, motivational material, and education to your life. Eat to live instead of living to eat by consuming unrefined plant-based food. This will have your energy up and you'll feel sharper and more on point. think about your goals every single day with a purpose of what you can do today to take even one small step to get you closer. All right, the second thing is to reflect on where you are or where you've been in the past when maybe you had great clarity about something, as well as when you were feeling confused or frustrated with no clear path of where you were going to go, let alone how to get there. Okay, so where I'm going with this. Can you identify what things were different when you had clarity versus when you didn't? Seriously, I bet there were some indicators that you can come up with that you may be able to look back on and go, oh yeah, I was way more clear when I was doing this, whatever this is. Or on the opposite side, you may very quickly think back and realize that everything went dark and fuzzy when you were thinking this or doing that. Being aware of those things is key. Number 3, some will call this meditation, others will call it visualization, but whatever you call it, it's irrelevant. Look inside you and focus on what clarity will look like in your world when you have it. What will it feel like? Clarity has a certain power that gives each person a feeling of confidence. Maybe you define it as a good vibe or being in the zone. Take some time and really sit quietly and feel what clarity will feel like to you. By doing this, that clarity that you are creating will become more natural and simple to create on an ongoing basis. All right, next is one that we've heard our entire lives. For Pete's sakes, write down your dang goals. Why is this a simple practice? It's one of the most inconsistently done habits. It's not hard. It's like it leaves you sore like working out. No, it doesn't do that. But we seem to be able to force ourselves to the gym easier than we can take out a piece of paper and a pencil and write down what we want out of life. It's proven that goals that are written down are 42% more likely to happen than if we don't write them down. Add to that reading them every day, and the percentages just skyrocket. I like to have them written on my daily journal or a whiteboard in my office that I can see constantly. Some people put them on their phones with an alarm that goes off and reminds them a few times a day what their goals are, just to keep them top of mind. Find a way to keep your goals and dreams in front of you and constantly challenging your mind to make them happen. Number 5, I want you to take those goals that you wrote down and dig deep to make them extremely specific. General goals are hard to measure or hold accountable. We're going to take that giant goal, we're going to break it down into smaller pieces that are more attainable on the way to the big kahuna. In this way, it's much easier to not get overwhelmed with a huge goal that you can't see the end of. And this way, you get to celebrate the small victories along the way. How many times have you decided you wanted to learn something new, but you had no idea of how to get started, and so very likely, you never got to the level you hoped to, even if you got started at all? Start with the end in mind and work it backwards to be able to break it down into bite-sized pieces that will give you great confidence and excitement as you see the goal get closer every single day. So I hope this has helped and has given you some tools to help you gain your own clarity, whether it be a business venture, your personal life, or maybe in regard to something new on your horizon. Please share this, like it, or comment below so that we can continue to help others lead the big life that they are searching for. And remember that it is always your choice to focus forward. See you soon.